Saundria Chase Gray. I'm a native Houstonian, and I grew up in Antioch Church. So my dad is from Annapolis, Maryland. My mother's from Austin, Texas. And my dad went to Hampton, graduated from Hampton University, and came to Texas because he had heard from his friends that that would be a good place to start in architecture and study architecture. He had to wait for a long time to even get admitted to University of Texas. And in fact, the reason why he started his own firm when he graduated from UT was not because he wanted to start his own firm when he graduated, but no architecture firm at all would hire him, not one. So if he wanted to work, he had to start his own firm, and glad he did. In fact, throughout the years, he received several offers to buy his firm from much larger firms across the world, and he always told them no because it was something he was very proud of that he had built on his own. My parents joined Antioch when they first got to Houston from Austin. I believe it would have been in the early 1950s. And both my parents and my two brothers, Anthony and John, we went to church every Sunday. And it was, of course, a big event because we would go in the morning for Sunday school and then stay for church and get home around 2 or so in the afternoon. Back then, Antioch was a pretty formal place to go. As a little girl, I had to wear a hat, stockings, very dressed up. And of course, things have changed a little bit now. I have very fond memories of my parents and Antioch. Particularly, I believe my dad was chairman of the deacon board, and he was also an architect. And so he counseled with Antioch on many occasions about, renovations to the property. And most importantly, what I remember is when I believe it was the city of Houston wanted to purchase Antioch and the land, and then Antioch could lease back the property for, I believe, like $1 a year or $1 a month. I mean, basically, it was a really good financial deal for Antioch, but the sale would have meant that we would have lost the land. Ultimately, Antioch decided not to sell, which is such a great thing, and it sits here right in the center of the city of Houston. It's just a great testament to our history. I also remember my mother was very active in the church as well, and in fact, this is a picture of her with Mrs. Fontaine and others in the church. My parents had sponsored a scholarship for anyone, I believe, looking to study architecture, and so they wanted to help with that as well. I also fondly remember Antioch because it was my first and beginning exposure to church, and through there I learned or developed the foundation that I build on from today. Most significantly, I'd have to say my most important life events, both bittersweet, sad, and happy. Most of them, if almost not all of them, have happened here. I was baptized here, and in fact, I got baptized at an older age, maybe as a young teenager, and not a little girl because I didn't know how to swim, and the idea of being dunked in the water was just too frightening to me. My brothers were also baptized here as well. Then later, I got married here, and my parents, of course, gave me away. Later, after having children, my 2 children were blessed here. And then sadly, I buried my mother, my father, and my brother here. So when I think about Antioch, I am happy and sad all at the same time. My dad, I'll give you the personal side first. I mean, my dad was a great dad. He was a lot of fun. He liked to get up and go to the parades on Saturdays. We always went ice skating together. I mean, he had more energy, I think, than I did. The dad that everyone else knows was a world-renowned architect. First black person to graduate, first black architect to graduate from the University of Texas. He entered University of Texas after the Heman Sweat decision that allowed Heman Sweat to go to UT, he entered in, I believe, with Heman Sweat and one other person. He subsequently became the first of many, many accolades, the first black licensed architect in the state of Texas, large offices throughout Houston, Dallas, Austin, Washington, D.C., and outside of the country. And he designed many famous buildings throughout the country as well. Most notably in Houston would be a lot of the buildings at Texas Southern. So for example, the Thurgood Marshall School of Law, the MLK Center, the George R. Brown, many other places. My parents' residence, the place where I grew up as well. He was a mid-century architect with a great flair and a great pen, and it's exciting to see his work even till this day. That's still standing in Houston and Austin, most notably. My mother supported my dad throughout his entire career. She started as a school teacher at, oh gosh, I should remember. If my brothers were here, they could remind me, but I think she taught at Turner and one other school. I'm sad I can't remember which one. And then she retired from teaching and raised us. And my dad frequently said, in fact, he almost always said, that she was the wind beneath his sails. And as a child, I certainly saw that. I mean, she wasn't an architect, but they built his architecture business together. And they celebrated those successes. They enjoyed Antioch. They were extremely active. And as a child, I spent a lot of time here. And it was good time. And then my dad and mother would entertain the new ministers and people from Antioch at our home. My mother tells this great story that I didn't hear until a few years ago. My dad designed this beautiful contemporary home in Riverside, 3rd Ward, and in the house there's a sliding bookcase. It filled with books, all of our books from growing up, you can imagine. Well, when you slide back the when you slide back the bookcase, there's a full-on bar, and I mean everything, the glassware, the spirits, pictures, everything you can imagine. It was a big bar. And as my mother tells it, the reason why the sliding bookcase was in front of the bar was so that my dad could close it or hide the bar when people from Antioch came over, which I think is absolutely hilarious. But in any event, it was a good story to hear, and that probably lets you know how often they entertained people from Antioch.